To us, the thought of painting usually evokes brushstrokes on canvas, the rich scent of oil paint. But cinema is painting too, not with pigment, but with light, framing, time. Directors like Wes Anderson, Bong Joon-ho, Andrei Tarkovsky, Akira Kurosawa, and Alfred Hitchcock use composition to guide our eyes, create emotion, and even rewrite how we see the world. Let's look at how film borrows from painting, and how every frame can become a work of art. Wes Anderson is often called the king of symmetry. He is famous for his geometric precision. Nearly every frame is balanced on a central axis, like a mirror. Anderson's films look like dollhouses, with carefully curated sets and vibrant palettes. His warm colors and pastel tones cue us in to which director's work we're watching immediately. Anderson's visual cues are so uniquely his that it makes him stand out. But Anderson isn't just quirky, he's borrowing from traditions of painting and design. His symmetry and maximalist style echo the harmony of Rococo interiors or Islamic tile work. His pastel colors recall mid-century illustration. His style comes partly from early cinema, Georges Méliès' theatrical framing, and from illustration traditions like European storybooks and even Persian miniatures. But his symmetry isn't just aesthetic. Psychologists suggest that symmetry creates a sense of control and stability. In Anderson's whimsical, chaotic stories, the rigid frames make that absurd feel orderly. Notice how Anderson often puts a character dead center, surrounded by objects that tell us about them. The composition itself becomes biography. Bong Joon-ho once said, "If I can, I want to shoot all my films with stairs." His fascination with vertical space comes from architecture, and it becomes a metaphor for class. The wealthy live above, the poor live below. Movement between floors signals shifts in power. In Parasite, he layers characters across planes of space, foreground, midground, background, like a Renaissance painting. Compositionally, Bong uses deep focus, keeping every plane in sharp detail, like a Bruegel painting. This forces our eyes to read the frame like layers of a painting. Every stair, doorway, or line of furniture is a compositional device. It isn't just beautiful, it's storytelling. The scene at the stairwell is told perfectly, weaving the narrative of the landlady with the allergy to the peaches to the ketchup packet from earlier. Shorter transitory scenes keep the action moving and the viewer's attention on the beats of the story. Notice how doorways, windows, and staircases act like compositional frames within frames. Characters move through them as if the architecture is telling its own story. Andrei Tarkovsky describes cinema as sculpting in time. Tarkovsky worked in long, painterly takes. His frames echo Russian Orthodox icons, slow, spiritual, filled with emptiness that feels sacred. Instead of filling frames with information, Tarkovsky empties them, so we linger. Tarkovsky used negative space and stillness like brushstrokes. His compositions are less about symmetry and depth, and more about presence. He uses long takes with minimal cutting, forcing us to experience the weight of time. This transforms simple compositions, a figure standing in water or a candle burning, into sacred rituals. Like Caspar David Friedrich's romantic landscapes, Tarkovsky's spaces feel less like settings and more like meditations. His characters share long, rambling monologues about themselves, about each other, laying their deepest psyches bare. Conversely, the bleak moments of silence erode at the viewer like drops of water against a canyon. Here, in the liminal spaces that Tarkovsky has created, negative space is mastered. It fills the space like the ebb and flow of tide, pulled by the narrative, moments often left stranded without water, as they stand stark against the rest of the movie in their dragging slipstreams. Akira Kurosawa was deeply inspired by Japanese painting, especially the scroll tradition. Scrolls don't have a single vanishing point. They unfold across time, inviting you to move through space. Kurosawa even began his career as a painter. He translates this into cinema. His wide landscapes, moving clouds, and flowing armies feel like living scroll paintings. His compositions guide your eyes across the screen, like following ink across parchment. His wide shots and movements of groups across the frame resemble Imaki Mono scroll paintings, which were meant to be unrolled slowly, read across time. Kurosawa often paints with weather, letting wind, rain, or fog fill the frame as compositional elements, echoing Japanese ink landscapes where nature dominates humans. Notice how armies in Ran move like brushstrokes of color across a canvas, or how Dreams directly inserts his characters into Van Gogh's paintings. Alfred Hitchcock once said, "The size of an object in the frame should relate to its importance in the story. He wasn't just composing images, he was manipulating psychology. For him, the frame wasn't just about beauty, it was about control. He placed characters off-center, trapped them with architecture, or used extreme close-up to make us feel anxiety. Architecture becomes a prison, cutting characters into fragments. Hitchcock began his career in the 1920s, working at UFA Studios in Germany, where The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and other expressionist films were being produced. Their influence never left. In Vertigo, spirals and dizzying lines put us inside the main character's mind. In Psycho, the infamous shower scene cuts spaces into fragments, disorienting us until the horror strikes. 70 cuts in under 50 seconds, the composition itself becomes violence. From Anderson's symmetry to Bong Joon-ho's layers, Tarkovsky's stillness to Kurosawa's scrolls, and Hitchcock's visual traps, film composition is painting with the camera. Every frame is a choice, and every choice tells a story. So next time you watch a movie, look closely. Ask yourself, what does this composition make me feel? Because like any painting, cinema speaks through its images. Thanks for watching. Which director do you think paints the best frames? Wes Anderson's symmetry? Bong Joon-ho's depth? Tarkovsky's stillness? Kurosawa's movement? Or Hitchcock's tension? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more art and film deep dives.